Okay, so today we're going to do a deep dive into a case study.
Yeah.
Um, and it's about how mobile technology can totally change how a major energy company
Right.
handles maintenance.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're not talking about like a small company.
Yeah.
This one provides power to like over 60% of a whole country's households. So think about all the infrastructure involved and how complicated it must be.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've got these two different versions of a document
Uh-huh.
that talk about how they made this transformation. And like, I'm excited to dig into the challenges
Yeah.
they had to deal with, the solution they ended up using, and the crazy good results they got.
Yeah. I think what's really interesting about this case is that it shows just how important it is to have
Yeah.
really efficient asset management, especially for a company that has such a big impact on a whole nation's energy supply.
Yeah.
Like any downtime or problems with their operations could have massive consequences.
Oh, absolutely. And the document actually goes into what they call like their painful reality before they went digital.
Ah.
They had over 100,000 maintenance orders that were all being recorded by hand.
Wow.
Can you imagine all the mistakes and inefficiencies that could come from that much paperwork?
It's not even just the amount of paper, it's all the problems that come with it. The document talks about how there were duplicate orders all the time and even spelling errors in important documents. That kind of messed up data can really mess up decision making, which then leads to resources being used in the wrong way and costs going through the roof.
Yeah, and the source describes their breaking point as like a total technological nightmare.
Yikes.
They had these slow, paper-based workflows. Field operations were totally disconnected. There was no way to track data in real time, and administrative tasks were taking up tons and tons of time. It's like they were trying to run a super modern operation using tools from like decades ago.
Yeah, it's like trying to navigate through a super complicated energy infrastructure with a map that's totally outdated. You're always going to be reacting to problems instead of being able to see them coming and prevent them. Real-time data is super important for making asset management work well in today's world.
Definitely. So they decided to go with the mobile asset management system, and the document calls it their mobile solution.
Okay.
And it completely changed how everything worked. This system works perfectly with their other enterprise systems, and it gives them real-time tracking of how their equipment is doing.
Choosing a solution that fits in with the systems they already have is a really smart move. It lets them use the technology they've already invested in while still taking care of the specific problems they're facing. And in this case, we know they use SAP, which makes their choice even more interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And this mobile solution does more than just keep track of assets. It makes data entry way easier by using things like barcodes and geolocation.
Right.
So field reporting can be done instantly, even if they're in the middle of nowhere.
That ability to work both online and offline is really important for technicians in the field who might not always have good internet access. Right.
It makes sure that the data they're collecting is accurate and up to the minute no matter where they are.
Now, here's something that I found really interesting. They actually thought about building their own application at first,
Oh, really?
but in the end, they decided not to.
I can see why a lot of big companies face that same dilemma. Building something custom might sound good, but it usually comes with a huge price tag and a lot of complications.
Yeah.
You need experts to build it. You have to constantly keep it updated and maintain it.
Exactly. They realized that it would be way more efficient and cost-effective to work with a company that specializes in this kind of thing.
Right.
So they did their research, looked at what other big companies were using, and ultimately they chose Sigga.
And that's where Sigga really shines.
Yeah.
They're experts in providing solutions that are specifically designed for SAP environments.
Yeah.
They've got a whole range of products that are made to make asset management within the SAP ecosystem even better. You know, we've got to talk about the results.
Okay.
Because they are pretty amazing.
I bet.
By implementing Sigga's solution, this energy company saved $630,000 per year. Just think about all the things they could do with that kind of money.
That's a huge return on their investment. It just goes to show how the right technology can have a direct impact on their bottom line. But saving money is only part of the story.
Oh, you're so right. They were also able to reassign 46 employees to more important strategic roles within the company. Think about how much that must have boosted morale and productivity.
Yeah.
Instead of being bogged down by paperwork, these people can now focus on tasks that actually require their skills and experience.
It also shows how important it is to think strategically about your workforce. By automating all those manual tasks, Companies can free up their employees to work on things that really need human creativity and problem-solving skills.
And that leads to a more engaged and productive workforce.
Exactly.
And get this, they eliminated a whopping 7,500 administrative hours every single month. That's like giving their team back an entire year.
Wow.
And on top of all that, they save 500,000 sheets of paper every year, which is huge for the environment.
The environmental impact of going digital is often overlooked, but it's so important. Reducing paper consumption is a real way for companies to be more sustainable.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just about the big savings. They saw improvements in their everyday operations, too. Each service order now takes 10 minutes less to complete. The speed of dispatching maintenance orders has increased, and the data they're getting from the field is way more reliable.
So they're responding faster, things are running more smoothly, and their customers are getting a better experience overall. And for a company that's responsible for providing energy to millions of homes, that kind of reliability is crucial.
I know, right? It's no wonder the person in charge of their asset management team said, this wasn't just a technology upgrade. It was a complete operational revolution.
That quote really sums it up. Switching to digital solutions can completely change how a company works, how they manage their assets, and how they make decisions.
So how did they pull off this operational revolution? The source talks about some key strategies they used, and I think they're super valuable for anyone thinking about making a similar change.
Absolutely. Knowing how they went about implementing the solution is just as important as understanding the technology itself.
Right.
It's all about the people and the processes, not just the software. So let's dive into those strategies because they've got some really good lessons for any company that's thinking about using technology to make things run better.
Yeah, totally. The document talks about four main strategies: minimal system customization, comprehensive user training, getting everyone from different departments involved, and constantly integrating feedback.
Those are all super important for making a digital transformation work. It's not just about the tech, it's about how you make it happen and how you get people on board with it.
Okay, so let's start with the first one, minimal system customization.
Mm.
Why was that so important for them to be successful?
It might sound kind of weird, but sometimes not messing with the software too much can actually make things smoother and more efficient.
Hmm.
By using the software the way it was designed and following the best practices that are already built in companies can avoid a lot of headaches and potential problems.
So instead of trying to force the software to fit their old ways of doing things, they changed their processes to match the software's best practices.
Exactly. And that makes a lot of sense, especially when you consider how much expertise a company like Sigga brings to the table.
Right, they really know their stuff.
Oh, yeah. Sigga specializes in asset management and maintenance solutions, especially for companies that use SAP. They have a deep understanding of what works best in the industry, and they've designed their solutions to make workflows smoother and boost efficiency.
Okay, so that makes sense. And that brings us to the next strategy, comprehensive user training. Why is it so important to spend time and resources on training when you're putting in a new system?
You could have the most amazing tech in the world, but if your people don't know how to use it properly, it's not going to do you any good.
Right.
Comprehensive user training makes sure everyone understands how the system works, how it fits into their daily routine, and how to fix any problems that might come up.
So it's all about empowering your employees to use the new technology with confidence and get the most out of it.
Exactly. And it's not just about doing training at the beginning. Ongoing support and refresher courses are super important too, to make sure everyone's up to date and using the system to its full potential.
Okay, so the third strategy they talk about is cross-departmental involvement. Why was it so important to get people from all the different departments in the company on board with this?
Well, asset management affects a lot of different parts of a company, like operations, maintenance, finance, procurement, you name it. By getting people from each of these departments involved, you create a more complete picture of the challenges and the opportunities that are connected to asset management.
So it's not just an IT project. It's something that the whole company needs to be a part of.
Exactly. And this approach where everyone's working together makes people feel more responsible and accountable, which helps make sure the new system actually works for everyone and that it fits seamlessly into how the company operates as a whole.
Okay, and finally, they emphasize continuous feedback integration. What did that look like in practice?
Basically, it's about making continuous improvement a part of your culture. They set up a system for gathering feedback from users all throughout the implementation process and even afterwards. They wanted to know what was working, what wasn't, and make changes as needed.
So it's not just a one and done kind of thing.
Nope. It's about constantly looking at the system, figuring out how to make it better and making sure it's keeping up with the company's changing needs.
Like a constant evolution.
Exactly. This way of doing things where you're always making adjustments is key to getting the most out of any technology investment. It's about understanding that things can always be improved and the best solutions are the ones that can change and adapt over time.
Quite. So now let's get into the specifics of the solution they chose. We know they went with Sigga, but what exactly does Sigga offer that really tackled this energy company's unique problems?
Well, Sigga specializes in providing these really comprehensive asset management and maintenance solutions that are made to work seamlessly with SAP systems, which, as you mentioned, is what this company was already using.
Yeah, that's right. Their existing investment in SAP was a big factor in their decision.
And Sigga knew that their main product, Sigga EAM Empower, is specifically designed for SAP environments. It's made to enhance and expand the functionality of SAP's plant maintenance and asset management modules.
So instead of getting rid of their SAP system entirely, they were able to build on top of it using Sigga's specialized solutions.
Exactly. Sigga EAM Empower provides a whole bunch of tools for managing every stage of the asset lifecycle, from tracking work orders, managing inventory, and analyzing how well assets are performing.
And it's all accessible through a mobile interface, right? So
Yeah.
technicians can work efficiently from anywhere, even when they're out in the field.
Exactly. That's one of the big advantages of Sigga solutions, the ability to work online and offline. It's a game changer for companies like this energy company that have assets spread out over a large area where internet access isn't always reliable.
We talked about some of the results earlier, but I'd love to dig a little deeper into how Sigga's solution specifically helped them achieve those amazing outcomes. For instance, we know they saved $630,000 annually. Where did those savings come from?
That's a great question. The savings probably came from a few different things. Improving efficiency and cutting down on downtime are two big contributors. By streamlining workflows, automating tasks, and providing real-time data insights, Sigga Solution helped the company get the most out of their maintenance activities, reduce equipment failures, and minimize those expensive downtime periods.
That makes perfect sense. When your equipment is running smoothly and you can prevent those unexpected breakdowns, you're going to see some major cost savings.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the 7,500 administrative hours they eliminated every month. That's a direct result of digitizing and automating those manual processes, which freed up employees to focus on more strategic and value-adding work.
It's not just about saving money, it's about making the most of your workforce and giving employees the opportunity to contribute at a higher level.
Exactly. And we can't overlook the environmental benefits of going paperless. They saved 500,000 sheets of paper every year, which is a big win for sustainability.
It all adds up. Those are some seriously impressive results, and it's clear that Sigga played a key role in helping this company transform how they operate.
Absolutely. Their expertise in asset management, their deep understanding of SAP environments, and their commitment to making sure their customers succeed all played a vital role in this energy company's incredible transformation.
But it wasn't just about the technology, was it? It was also about how the company approached the implementation and the strategies they used to make sure it was a success.
You're exactly right. We've talked about the importance of minimal customization, comprehensive user training involving everyone from different departments, and constantly getting feedback and making improvements. These strategies were crucial to making sure that people actually embraced the new system and that it delivered the results they were hoping for.
And speaking of results, one of the most impressive outcomes was that they were able to reassign 46 employees to more strategic roles within the company. I'm really curious about the impact that had on the company as a whole.
That's a really interesting aspect of this case study. It shows how powerful digital solutions can be, not just for improving efficiency, but also for making the workforce more adaptable. By automating tasks that people used to do manually, the company was able to free up these employees to work in areas where their skills and knowledge could be put to better use.
So it's not about technology taking away jobs. It's about changing the nature of work and giving employees the chance to take on more challenging and fulfilling responsibilities.
Exactly. And that shift can have a huge impact on employee morale, engagement, and overall productivity. When people feel valued and challenged, they're more likely to be invested in their work and contribute at a higher level.
It sounds like a win-win situation.
It is.
Yeah.
The company benefits from a more engaged and productive workforce, and the employees benefit from having more fulfilling and impactful role.
That's fantastic. This case study is a great example of how going digital can do so much more than just make things a little bit more efficient. It can completely change the way a company operates.
And it all starts with finding the right partner. In this case, Sigga's expertise in asset management, their deep understanding of SAP environments, and their dedication to customer success were all critical to helping this energy company achieve such a remarkable transformation.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this case study, what are the key takeaways for our listeners? What can they learn from this energy company's experience?
I think there are a few really important things to take away. First, embracing digital solutions can have a huge impact on how efficiently a company runs, how much money they save, and even how sustainable they are. Second, choosing the right technology partner like SIG who really understands your industry and your systems is absolutely crucial. And finally, successful digital transformation isn't just about implementing new technology, it's about getting your people on board, adapting your processes, and creating a culture where you're always looking for ways to improve.
Okay, so we've talked about the problems this energy company had, the Sigga solution they used, and the amazing results they got. But let's take a step back and look at those big transformation strategies that help them succeed. The document mentions four in particular: keeping system customization to a minimum, making sure users get comprehensive training, getting everyone from different departments involved, and constantly integrating feedback.
These strategies show that implementing new technology isn't just about plugging in new software. It's about the people, the processes, and creating a culture where people embrace change.
Okay, so this energy company story is a great example of how mobile technology, when implemented strategically, can completely change how a company operates. They didn't just save money, they empowered their employees. They became more efficient, and they even helped the environment.
And their success had a lot to do with choosing Sigga as their technology partner. Sigga's deep understanding of asset management and their focus on SAP environments gave them a solution that was perfect for this company's unique needs.
So for anyone listening who might be thinking, wow, my company could really benefit from something like this, what are the main things they should take away from this deep dive?
First, remember that technology is just a tool. Whether it works or not depends on the people and the processes. Invest in training, encourage collaboration, and be open to making changes as you go. Second, choose a technology partner like Sigga who really gets your industry and your systems, not just some random software company. And finally, don't be afraid to embrace change and adapt your approach to make the most of the solution.
That's great advice. So if you're interested in what we've been talking about today and you want to learn more about how Sigga can help your company achieve similar results, where should they go?
Go to Sigga.com. You'll find all the details about their solutions, including Sigga EAM Empower and Sigga Planning and Scheduling, plus case studies and resources to guide you on your digital transformation journey.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you've learned some valuable insights into the power of mobile asset management and the strategic steps that lead to success.
It was my pleasure. I always enjoy diving into these case studies and uncovering those golden nuggets of wisdom that can help other companies on their own digital transformation adventures.